I never thought I'd come home from saving lives at 4 a.m. only to find the president of my HOA had broken into my house. She slipped a crowbar into my back door, tiptoed through my kitchen like she owned it, only to meet Rex, my 85-pound German Shepherd, with zero patience for thieves. By the time it was over, she'd learned the hard way why you don't mess with a paramedic's home. My name's Jake Thornfield. I'm 45, been running ambulance calls for 15 years. Bought a ranch house in Meadowbrook Estates after my divorce, figuring it was the kind of place where the worst problem would be someone's hedge growing too high. I was wrong. Meadowbrook had its own dictator, Brenda Hutchkins, 52 bleach blonde Lexus with blessed plates. She strutted our streets like a cop on patrol heels, clicking at 8 a.m., sharp perfume strong enough to choke a horse. The second you heard that click-click on the sidewalk, you knew someone's day was about to get ruined. After a string of break-ins last summer, I put up a few basic cameras. Nothing fancy, just enough to keep an eye on the place. 2 weeks later, I get a certified letter, $150 fine, unauthorized exterior modification. I'm thinking seriously. The covenant allows security systems, but Queen Brenda decides mine ruin the neighborhood's aesthetic. At the next HOA meeting, I try to defend myself, but she slams the gavel after 15 seconds. Some people think the rules don't apply to them. She smirks. Meeting adjourned. That was it, and it wasn't just me. Luis, my next-door neighbor, a Navy vet in a wheelchair, got cited because his accessibility ramp wasn't standard design. Sam down the street, a Marine who'd just buried his wife, got written up for displaying his flag wrong. Pete, across the way Air Force retiree, fined for a garden gnome. Veterans, widows, minorities. She was targeting anyone who didn't fit her little picture-perfect suburbia. I tried to brush it off at first, but then I brought home Rex, retired police K9. He'd spent years taking down criminals steady as stone, and just having him around made my empty house feel alive again. First day, he lays down on the porch calm as a sphinx. Next morning, I find a violation notice taped to my door. Dangerous animal complaint, immediate removal required. Rex is literally watching hummingbirds, and she calls him aggressive. That's when it hit me. This wasn't about property values. This woman was power drunk, and I was next on her hit list. From then on, the harassment escalated. More bogus fines, threats of liens, letters stamped emergency resolution that turned out to be totally fabricated. She even showed up in my driveway with some greasy guy named Carl, calling him the certified HOA inspector. Certified my ass. He looked like he lived under a bridge. They were measuring my property, trying door handles, while Brenda grinned like she owned the place. Rex went berserk inside, claws raking at the door, growl so deep it rattled my chest. I stepped between Carl and my house. You've got zero authority to touch my locks. I filmed everything. But you can only get hit so many times before you start to doubt yourself. I'd come home from 30-hour shifts, hands still shaking from cutting kids out of twisted metal, only to find new fines waiting, new accusations. One night I sat in my truck, staring at another $500 penalty notice, and thought, maybe I should just give up. Maybe I am the problem. Maybe I should move, rip down the cameras, send Rex back. My wife left me, my kid only visits twice a month. Maybe Brenda's right. Maybe I don't belong here. That was the lowest point. Then Dolores knocked on my door. 67, retired paralegal, sharp enough to cut glass. She slid a stack of papers across my kitchen table. Jake, none of these so-called resolutions are legal. She hasn't had a board quorum in 6 months. She's been faking authority. Luis joined in. He'd recorded Brenda trying to bribe him to get rid of Rex. Pete revealed he used to investigate contractor fraud for the Air Force. And Maria, a property manager, laughed out loud at the photos of staged violations. For the first time in months, I wasn't alone. I wasn't crazy. I had backup. We started digging, and what we found was bigger than any of us imagined. Brenda wasn't just harassing neighbors for fun. She and Carl had run this scam before. Move into a neighborhood, seize HOA control hammer vets and widows with fake violations until they sold under market. Carl's contracting company swoops in with inflated repair bills. Brenda pockets a cut. Millions siphoned through fraud mail scams, insurance claims. Organized crime hiding behind HOA letterhead. That knowledge lit a fire in me. The despair flipped into anger, into focus. If she wanted a fight, she was going to get one, but on my terms. I pretended to leave town for training, posted it online, truck gone lights out. Brenda took the bait. IRS was about to seize her for back taxes. She needed cash, fast, and she thought my house was ripe for the picking. What she didn't know was that FBI agents were in my neighbor's garage surveillance, wired to every inch of my property, waiting for her to make the mistake that would bury her. That night, 11:47 p.m., Carl crept up first with lock-picking tools, Brenda slinking behind. I watched from across the street, my stomach coiled tight. The second Carl jammed his tool into my door, Rex exploded inside, thunderous barking, 85 pounds of fury, slamming against the frame. Carl stumbled back, shouting, "You said the dog was gone?" Brenda hissed. "He was supposed to be." But Carl was desperate, swinging a crowbar, smashing at my door. That was it. "Move in now," came the order over the FBI radio. The desert night lit up like midday floodlights. Agents shouting, "FBI, hands on your head!" Carl dropped the crowbar and hit the dirt. Brenda tried to run heels, slipping on the gravel, but there was nowhere to go. Surrounded, handcuffed, hauled off in front of the very neighbors she'd terrorized. Inside my house, Rex barked sharp and proud, like victory bells echoing through the neighborhood. That's where it ended. Brenda in custody. Carl broken the HOA's throne, ripped out from under her. And me. I stood there in the cool desert air, Rex at my side, knowing one thing for certain. Bullies thrive until someone stands up, documents everything, and refuses to back down.